Cardinal Fungi.
That's a very, very nice likeness of you, by the way.
It's funny. It's a star. Looks just like
let's see. Let's just get on with the big program, shall we, boys and girls? We have a lovely group of folks who have stopped by to say hello to us today. Our first guest is a talented actress whose films include Gardens of Stone. Have you seen that, Paul? Gardens of Stone?
I haven't gotten to see it yet.
Some Kind of Wonderful. Have you seen that one?
I saw that one. Fabulous.
And the current hit Fried Green Tomatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the lovely and talented Mary Stuart Masterson. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Let me apologize about this name because for some reason
Philbin called me Mary Stuart Anderson.
See, there's a Stuart Anderson in California. There's restaurants all over the state. I believe.
Oh, now I understand.
Yeah,
I
and
thought
so
there was somebody who looked like me, you know.
No, I've never seen you in person, but that has nothing to do with the name. I'm sorry, it's just me being dumb.
Dave.
Extra
cool.
dumb.
Cool.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Yeah. I understand you're newly wed. Is that correct?
Yes.
He knows the Pope, by the way. Did you know that?
Yes, I heard that. Yes. No, yes, I'm newly married. I got married about 1.5 years ago. It was quite an event.
Really?
I sort of thought maybe I would have a traditional wedding, you know, which to me meant white dress, church, groom.
Yeah, sure.
You know. And I ended up finding out that in Houston, a traditional wedding means like you have 700 of your closest friends you've never met. And it's like the landing of Normandy planning this thing. It was like a drill sergeant telling me what to do all the time.
It was a big, huge, elaborate,
They say it was small.
wedding. Yeah.
Small.
Mm-hmm.
450 people.
But who controls this kind of thing? Don't you control as the bride? I mean, isn't it pretty much
It's a myth, Dave.
the bride gets to do anything she wants for the wedding?
Well, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But actually, I had all these plans. They asked us, you know, what do you want? How many people do you want to have? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
They said, 100, something like that, and that just wasn't
Now,
possible.
who asked you these questions?
Well, my father asked us how many we wanted. Of course, he was paying for it.
Yeah.
And which was his idea too, which seemed archaic to me. But it turned out there were a lot more people invited. You can't invite these people without inviting those people.
Sure, you hurt people's feelings. And did you have it like at Gillies with the mechanical bull and all that
Wouldn't
stuff?
that have been cool? No. Houston is very cosmopolitan, and it was very country club.
So you've been married 1.5 years. You had the big gala wedding to kick it off. And how are things going so far?
Oh, pretty well. Over Christmas, we had a little mishap with the turkey. I was working, he was working.
He being your husband?
Husband, husband George. Yes, yes. And we were hoping to have some friends over, and I came from rehearsal and he came from work and discovered the oven wasn't working.
Oh no.
So we had to go buy a pre-cooked bird and try and like sell it to these people and see if they'd notice.
So you were entertaining, having a big family kind of get together on Thanksgiving?
Yeah. We tried to have a Thanksgiving meal. It's tough being traditional, but we're in no way normal.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you need to call attention to the obvious. No, sure. And the
he
film.
Wears a suit, though.
What does he do for a living, your husband?
He's an investment banker.
Well, there you go. You're in good shape.
Yeah.
Now, in this time of recession, are investment bankers cleaning up because they know something the rest of us don't know, or are they in as much trouble as everybody else?
I think they think they know how to get us out of it, and hopefully they will. But
and what does your husband say? Are we coming out of it?
He likes to think so, yes.
Yeah, but this is the guy that forgot to turn on the oven.
This is true. This is true. This is very true.
Thank you. Let's talk about the film Fried Green Tomatoes. It's a great title, and I believe it's from a novel of the same name, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, the novel title is At the Whistle Stop Cafe, which wouldn't fit on the marquee, but it's about me.
Yeah.
No, it's sort of about 2 hours. No, it's about Jessica Tanny, Kathy Bates get to be friends, tell a story about me in the past, in the old Depression-era South Alabama trains.
Is it funny? Is it a funny movie?
We hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some humor in it.
Yeah. And
food fights,
food fights, really?
Yeah.
And it's doing great business. It's a big hit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
I've never been in a hit. Nobody's ever seen anything I've done. Until, like, it goes to cable, and then only the worst movies I've ever done go to cable. And then you're the one in the movie about the...
Paul has seen every one of your films.
Liar. Liar.
Do we or do we not have a clip of this film? All right, do you know what we're going to look at here?
I think so.
All right, tell us what it is.
Well, I did this scene with 100,000 bees.
Wow.
As a lead up, yes.
Something
I'm
left
a
over
bee
from the
charmer.
wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. From all that icing on the cake. Yes, these bees are swarming around this tree, you see. And when we shot it, they put queen bee hormone on my shirt, and suddenly the bees swarmed around me. And
how do they get that queen bee hormone?
This is what I'd like to know.
You have to have a prescription for that, I believe.
Yes,
I'm pretty
vial
sure you have to have a note from your doctor to get that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous stuff, but no, I was swarmed by all these. I was queen bee.
So now, why didn't they use like a stand-in or somebody who was trained in handling bees? Why did they use the star of the film? Or why don't they use Jessica Tandy? Let her get in there fighting bees.
She probably would have done it. No, because first of all, the stunt double wouldn't do it. She negotiated for like double her money to do it, and so
really,
I got wise to it, and I said, wait a minute, hazard pay. But they didn't pay me. But the next day was my last day of shooting, so they figured I was dispensable. They probably were going to cut the scene, which they did.
You know, we did that in here. We had a big glass cage built, and we had a guy go in there, and he was just covered in bees, and he worked with them. And after weeks and weeks of him saying, don't worry, it's perfectly safe.
Right.
Nobody's going to get bitten. He was stung like 8 times on the face.
You see, and nobody told me that bees, they get grumpy. They need a nap time around 4 or 5 o'clock.
Oh, sure.
I didn't know this. They just said, oh, it's going to be fine. There's no queen.
How can you be alive in the 90s and not know that?
I don't know.
Let's take a look here now of the footage of Mary fighting these bees.
Hollywood.
Well, there you go.
That's not the part where I'm covered, where you can see my face. But I really...
You actually are later in that scene completely covered in bees.
Yeah.
You're a brave young woman.
I don't know.
Nice to see you, and I couldn't be happier to meet you, and I'm glad the film is doing so well for you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming by, Mary. And I'm sorry about your name. Mary Stuart, Masterson. We'll be back here with John Chancellor. Listen to this. Minutes before the show starts, I'm in the makeup room. I'm in there with my makeup artist for the last 45 years, Candy.
Yes.
And Barbara Gaines, the production coordinator.
Know her well.
And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm saying this. I'm saying, geez, I'm kind of an odd-looking guy. And Barbara Gaines, with a split second, does not go by, and she says, no, you're not odd-looking. You're just growing into your face.
Growing.
What
Growing
exactly? I don't know. But and then she passes that off like it's a compliment.
Yeah.
And I went out thinking, well, yeah, pretty good. Congratulations, David. It's quite a milestone in life. You've grown into your face.
Could mean anything.
Yeah, I know. Okay, let's bring out another guest. You know, I saw that Barbara Streisand Prince of Tides movie over the break with Nick Nolte, and the Barbara Streisand directed this film, and I think she did a nice job. But I don't know if people understand this or know this. She plays all the parts as well. Have you seen it?
I heard that. No, I haven't seen it. I heard it. I didn't know it was true.
It's unbelievable.
But one part is played by Mandy Patinkin.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a joke I don't understand, right? It's the name of my biography. All right, now let's just... Our next guest has been a journalist, a broadcaster. Hey, talk about guys who have grown into their faces. I don't even know what that means. He's a journalist, a broadcaster, an anchorman, and now, of course, the commentator for NBC News. We're always honored when he stops by to say hello. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, our old friend, John Chancellor. John, come on out. Good to see you, John.
Always a pleasure.
You know, you've been with us many, many times, and it occurs to me maybe people don't understand, and I'm not sure I do, exactly the nature and the extent of your relationship with NBC. You've been with this company for a long time, I believe, haven't you?
I've been with this company so long, I'm growing into my stomach.
When did you start doing network television for NBC?
1950.
1950 as a reporter, right?
Yeah, you were probably only 30 or 40 then.
In 1950, I was 3 years old, as a matter of fact.
Yes, well, remember, we didn't hire you then. I remember when you came.
Yeah, I had a holding deal
Your
in
mother
those
brought
days.
you.
Yeah. And then you were the White House reporter for correspondent.
Oh, I've done that. I've played on most of these fields. I was the White House correspondent.
Right. That was a good job. Who were the presidents that were there when you were there?
Well, Lyndon Johnson was the president when I was there.
Yeah. All right. You don't have to get snotty, John.
No, because Lyndon Johnson was about 2 presidents wherever he was.
Well, yeah. Okay.
And I was a foreign correspondent for a long time.
Yeah. Where were you stationed then?
Well, I'm in Vienna, in London, in Berlin, in Brussels, and in Moscow.
Now, to me, that sounds like it must have been part of every journalist's dream to be stationed around the world and reporting news as it happens from foreign fronts. It must have been very exciting.
Europe was regarded as a better neighborhood than Asia in those days. Yeah. And we had a lot of European posts. It was very nice.
And now you are, and have been for quite some time, back in the studio, and you do the commentaries 2 or 3 times a week. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you and Tom get along, Mr. Brokaw?
Which one is he?
He's the rather smart-looking young fellow.
Oh, the good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Yes, very well.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice man.
He is a very nice man.
Now, when you do your commentaries, especially now, I would think now there's so much to talk about. Do you get a lot of response to people write in and comment about your comments?
Yeah, I get quite a lot of interesting mail, and sometimes it really kind of shakes you.
Yeah.
When you look at the mail. Somebody tried to get Halloween postponed in some little town here in the United States last year.
For what purpose?
Because they said it was a satanic ritual.
Oh, yeah.
So I did a commentary, kind of a mild commentary, saying I thought this was nonsense. That Halloween wasn't a satanic ritual, and what was, little kids going out saying trick or treat. The mail that came in was absolutely fascinating. A lot of it was typewritten by secretaries on IBM Selectrics with letterhead, very serious people saying there's a satanic conspiracy in the United States, which I don't believe at all. But I expected that if I did get mail on that, it would be written in pencil on lined paper from the dime store.
Yeah, you would think so,
It
sure.
was not.
Yeah.
A lot of it was very serious, thoughtful, well-written stuff. So you learn from the mail.
Yeah, exactly.
I still think it's nonsense, but I'm more respectful to it now.
Good for you. And I'm glad to know you did get my letter. Now, let's talk for a second here about the boys up there in New Hampshire. The presidential primary, the Governor Clinton, and on and on and on. I saw PBS, the McNeil-Lehrer kids, had a little round table the other night.
They did.
And they had all of the candidates, I believe. There was Clinton, there was Kerry, there was Brown, there was Songus, and on and on and on, and then the McNeil
Actually, he's about to drop out.
Which one is going on?
On and on and on.
And they would comment about certain things, and I guess I just don't understand, but none of it made any sense to me. And then periodically, Jerry Brown, former governor of California, would have an idea about something, and everybody would just stop for a second. And then they'd go on to somebody else. And
you know what? You don't see them unless you're there in the studio. When generally, I've done a lot of these over the years. I've been moderator for debates. And you say, Governor Jones, I want you to tell us your plan for health care. And Governor Jones starts in like that, and all the others start looking at their schedules.
Yeah.
They, some pare their nails. They pay absolutely no attention to the guy who's talking.
Yeah.
Well, because they go through this